In today's video, Football Manager is going to be predicting the 2024 SPFL season from League 2 all the way up to the Scottish Premiership. As you can see in the top right here, we are now in the summer of 2024. Kasper Schmeichel is now at Celtic. This video has been updated partly using a database, and then I went through and checked every single person's squad, every single team's squad, and made sure everything was all correct. So, for example, Kasper Schmeichel now at Celtic, and Connor Goldson now at RS Limassol. There were, however, a couple of transfers that happened on the day of my simulation, which I then stopped the simulation about halfway through, thinking about December, and made the transfers then. So they don't start the season at their clubs, like Corey Ndaba, for example, starting at Ipswich rather than at Kilmarnock. However, he does end up there by the end of the season, but I've got to work with what I've got, and that's unfortunately the best I can do. Similarly, no matter how many times I restarted the database, Peterhead kept getting promoted and Dumbarton refused to get promoted. So, for the purpose of this video, Peterhead, who will be in League 1 next season, have the squad of Dumbarton, and vice versa, Dumbarton and then have the squad of Peterhead, because they'll be playing in League 2. So, Peterhead are Dumbarton, Dumbarton are Peterhead. Comprende? But without any further ado, let's jump to the end of the 24-25 season and see what Football Manager thinks is going to happen. And whilst you're here, let me know in the comments down below your predictions for each of the leagues, League 2, League 1, the Championship, the Premiership, who's going to win the Scottish Cup and who is going to win the League Cup. Get at me in the comments down below, and then we can look back on it and potentially laugh or look at, well, you're a genius. I don't think I'll be doing that, but I'll give you my prediction at the end of the video. And Football Manager reckons that Clyde are going to win the Cinch League 2. It's the William Hill League 2, really, isn't it now? Whoops, have I said Cinch this whole time? Regardless, Clyde are going to win it, apparently, with Stirling Albion getting promoted in second and Peterhead staying there in third. The rest of the table is as follows: Bonnyrigg Rose, Elgin City, Spartans, Stranraer, East Fife and Edinburgh City avoid the drop, with Forfar going down as Club 42 and losing to Inverurie Locos, apparently, on penalties, which I think would be a real surprise if that was to happen. I don't know if they'll be up there, but they might possibly be. I don't know if Forfar will be the bottom club. I think that's the real surprise there. Elsewhere, Stirling have completely dominated everything in these top player stats. Dale Carrick, top with 16 goals, then Ali Roy with 13. How Clyde won the league when their top goal scorer had 11, I'm not sure. Lewis Milne, top of the average rating. Derek Gaston in there as well. Lewis Milne then most player of the matches. Derek Gaston in there again for Stirling Albion. Derek Gaston most clean sheets, fair enough. Clyde in second with 16. And Peterhead, Thomas Welsh there for, I was going to say for Dumbarton. I guess it is technically for Dumbarton, but it's for Peterhead. Lewis Milne top of the assists, and Bailey Doll top of the yellow cards. In fact, there's 2 in the top 4 for yellow cards. So not quite very disciplined. Perhaps if they had a bit more discipline, they maybe would have won the league, but they performed very, very well, and they get promoted. In fact, do they both get promoted back up at the first time of asking? Yes, they do, which would be no real surprise. And well, we knew that 2 teams then would have therefore got relegated from the Cinch League 2, from the William Hill League 2. I wish it was still a Cinch, it was funnier then, I'm not sure why, but it just was. Stenhousemuir up as champions, straight back down. Kelty Hearts down to League 2 once again as well. And Cove Rangers, despite finishing 4th, have been promoted, which I don't think will happen. I think they might struggle in League 1 and sort of, they should really try and consolidate, I guess. Inverness and Hamilton above Cove, not promoted, and Arbroath back to the Championship at first time of asking. And a very poor season for Queen of the South, which they would be very disappointed by. And they were always a team that were in the Championship when I was growing up. They caused me at least one massive upset, thanks Jackie McNamara. But I think they might do better than they have in this. They looked okay when Aberdeen played them in the Cup in the early stages of this season, and Dumbarton not doing very well, but staying in the division, not going back down to League 2, so there's a positive there. Ollie Shaw was top goal scorer in League 1 with 19 goals. Andrew Dallas, Scott Williamson and Mitch Megginson rounding up the top 4 there. Arbroath absolutely dominated. They dominated the average rating, and I see a problem here. He's officially retired. I did all the transfers with the in-game editor and you can't force retire someone. I should have probably made all of his attributes 1 so nobody signed him. But Johnny Hayes, in the top 4 players of League One, he's still got it. What can I say? Cameron Bruce, most player of the matches, and then clean sheets, Robbie Hemfrey, who was joint player of the matches with Cameron Bruce with 16, clear of Dean Linus in second. Most assists, Graham Webster, then Ross Cunningham, Declan Glass, who's a really good signing for Cove, I feel like, and well, will probably be key for them this season. Finlay Gray, top of the yellow cards for Dumbarton, Kerr Waddle, William Gilliam, and Gilliam? It would be Gillingham, wouldn't it? I don't know why I said Gilliam. And Mark Darnan round up the top 4. And I've just realised, after I focused so much on the Dumbarton Peterhead debacle, Hamilton are in League 1, they shouldn't be, and Alloa should be, but therefore Alloa are in the division above the Championship. It's too late for that. It took me too long to do all of the editing and moving all the players, so I just have to apologise to Hamilton and, well, Alloa fans here in the Championship, so that's quite nice, I suppose. But I really do apologise for that. There has, it seems though, been plenty of exciting playoff action, with Partick Thistle getting relegated via the playoffs to Cove Rangers, which very unlikely, and Falkirk going straight back down, which would be absolutely disastrous for them after spending so long in League One, and I think very unrealistic. Alloa are in there, that's annoying, isn't it? Airdrieonians, Wraith Rovers doing very poor compared to last season. I think not going to be the case. In fact, having seen how Airdrie played, particularly against Aberdeen in the Premier Sports Cup group stages, very unlikely, and I might fancy them for the title. We'll see. Ayr United, Dunfermline doing a lot better than last season. Morton outperforming massively, and I want to see how one man in particular got on. Where have they got rid of J. Emmanuel Thomas? Where is he? I put him in there. I'm very confused by all of this. That's the Aberdeen one. Why has he ended up... What? Did we sell him to QPR and then he went on loan to Morton? We've gone down and... where is J. Emmanuel Thomas? That's all I want to know. What happened to him? J. Emmanuel Thomas. Then we'll get back to the normal. Loan manager unemployed. He's retired. Played 7 games and packed it in. It seems 0 goals, 0 assists. That would be terrible, wouldn't it, for Morton fans? He has magic in his boots, but seemingly can never really be arsed doing anything with it, which is probably why he signed for Morton at this stage. I don't think they'll do that well, but perhaps with Gavin Malloy, Premier Sports Cup group stages player of the group stages, one of them, he was in the team of the group stages anyway, maybe they could do so well, but it's not going to happen. Livingston go back up. No real surprise there. It'll be interesting to see how they do adapt going back down, because when they initially got relegated, I thought they could be screwed and just keep plummeting, something similar to Inverness. And Queen's Park have won the title. Very bizarre, very unlikely, I feel like. Hamza Igamani has ended up there on loan from Rangers. What has gone on? What? He was in the B team, first of all, and then he's got sent out on loan to Queen's Park, scored 15 goals for them. Also unlikely considering they spent 2 million on him, but hey, I guess it's Football Manager, it's not realistic, and everything's been blown out the window by the Alloa cock-up anyway. Killian Kouassi, second top goal scorer with George Oakley, only with 11, which is unlikely. I think he could do very well at Ayr United. In fact, they've made a couple of good additions as well. They'll be looking to do better than last season. Kane Ritchie Hosler is top average rating, with Jerome Pryor the most player of the matches for Livingston. John McLaughlin has signed for Queen's Park after his release from Rangers. Would be a good addition, to be fair. Don't know if it's happened in real life, don't think it has. Nathan Shaw top the assists after leaving Inverness for Morton. And Ewan Otu, 14 yellow cards. I admire his commitment to being a shithouse. What's his aggression? It's only 13, so 14 yellow cards in a potential 36 games is mental. Motherwell and Dundee United were relegated from the Premiership. Now, I would actually quite like 2 teams to go down from the Premiership, because then it's just like 2 new teams, but one of the new teams was Livingston, then I would be pretty angry about it. Motherwell finishing rock bottom. They didn't have a great group stages, really, and were helped by a match officials cock-up against Partick Thistle. Dundee United, though, straight back down. I think that's unrealistic. They made quite a few good signings. The 2 Macedonians they brought in particular look pretty good. I think they'll be safe in the bottom 6, I feel like, this season, which I think they'd be happy with if they can stay up and stop being a yo-yo team. Ross County, third bottom. Kilmarnock, a big fall off, with St Johnstone and Dundee running out the bottom 6. Hearts finishing 6th is a real surprise, but they do have a lot of European football to play, which will be interesting to see how they deal with it. St Mirren finishing 5th, finishing in European spots once again. Congratulations to them. Aberdeen, I'd take that massive improvement on last season, but not if it was Hibs finishing above us. If it was Hearts, because they're quite good, I'd accept it. Hibs though, nah. Celtic have finished 2nd, Rangers won the league. I don't agree with that right now. With the state of play, Rangers are a bit of a shambles, aren't they? We'll look at the awards, we'll look at or not the awards, who finished top of what, and we'll look at how each team did in Europe as well. Dundee United got relegated, yeah. Bojan Miovski's still at Aberdeen. I would be so surprised if that's the case, but I would be so happy, even more happy than I would be surprised if that was the case. Kyogo, top goal scorer with 18. Shankland only with 10, a real surprise. Jordan White in there with 12. Celtic and Rangers really taking that average rating. I was surprised that it's 3 Celtic players and only 1 Rangers player, Oscar Cortez, considering Rangers won the league. Miovski joined for player of the match with Christian Kouame, who Celtic have signed in the game. You never know, might still happen. Well, not might still happen. It'd be very bizarre if they signed him in particular, but they'll sign players between now and the end of the transfer window. Most clean sheets, Jack Butland, then Kasper Schmeichel, Joe Bursick, and Craig Gordon still in there. Not sure if he'll play over Xander Clark, but Graham Shinnie with the most assists. Celtic have signed Wilfred Ndidi and didn't win the league. Chris Cadden, Riley Owen, Slattery, this is no surprise. 19 aggression. Having seen him play a couple of times so far, it adds up. It really adds up. His mentals are incredible, and I look forward to doing an little Aberdeen rebuild when Football Manager 25 comes out. Jack McKenzie, 11 yellow cards, great. And Liam Scales, 9 yellow cards. Also, how did Scottish teams do in Europe though? In fact, we'll do the cups first. Celtic B won the Trust Trophy. Well done. I hope you're all happy. Ridiculous. Unlucky Arbroath. My real winners, Arbroath, for that one. The Premier Sports Cup was won by Celtic on penalties against Aberdeen. I'd be happy if we got to the final. I'd be gutted if we lost on penalties to Celtic in the second season in a row, obviously in different competitions, especially since they were down to 10 men after 10 minutes. Wilfred Ndidi. Frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Not Ryan Duncan missing a penalty against Celtic again. Poor lad. And Celtic won the cup double despite not winning the league, winning 1-0 against Rangers thanks to a Albert Sambila Conga goal. Interesting. St Mirren did terrible in Europe. They were knocked out by Neftchi Pasikar Football Klubu, who are from where? Azerbaijan. Okay, how did that go for them? Let's just look at oh god, that's disappeared. They got through past KR, which is Icelandic opposition, which they'll be hoping to replicate in real life today as the video goes out, against Valor, and knocked out by Neftchi after drawing 1-1 twice. Poor. Meanwhile, Kilmarnock unfortunately went out of the Europa Conference League past 4th qualifying round, second leg, the playoff against Club Brugge after being knocked out immediately by Molde. They're a decent side in the Europa League, and then getting past SJK of Finland in the Conference League before they were eventually knocked out. They did alright though. And Hearts actually made it through to the group stages of the Europa League, and they got battered essentially. They have Ollie McBurney though, which is, well, it's a real surprise to be honest. He signed for Las Palmas in real life, but never mind. They beat Ajax. That would be incredible if they did that. They beat Ajax in the playoff round to get through to the league phase where they faced Anderlecht, lost. Maccabi Haifa won. Chelsea lost, fair enough. The 2 losses there, absolutely fair enough. Copenhagen, a 2-0 loss away, okay, again. Trabzonspor, they've faced recently, lost 2-1 away, again, okay, fair enough. Not beating Slovan Bratislava at home is pretty poor. A 2-0 loss to Porto away, again, fair enough. And Young Boys at home. Cedric Eaton, of all people, scoring against them. it was a tough draw they were given, and they did well to get to the group stages of the Europa League anyway against Ajax, but that, as suspected, is probably contributing to their poor league form there, and it'll be interesting to see if that happens, and hopefully Aberdeen can capitalise if it does. Rangers were also in the Europa League group phases. In fact, they made it through to the round of 16 before eventually being knocked out by Panathinaikos. They saw off FC 20 in the Champions League before getting knocked out by Galatasaray. Again, fair enough. And they did quite well. They did very well, actually. RB Salzburg, they beat them. AA Ghent, they beat them. Then drew with FC 20. Probably disappointing after beating them in the Champions League, but they also fell into the Europa League. A draw away at Nice, decent result. Losing away to Porto, fair enough. Likewise, Lille beat Puskás Akademia of Hungary, I would imagine. And Bologna, a very good result there at Ibrox before going through to the knockout round, getting past Ghent on penalties and getting knocked out by Panathinaikos, where they'd probably be very disappointed, but Václav Černý looks to be a good signing for them, so any consolation, Rangers fans, if you must. And Celtic went straight into the group stages of the Champions League in this new format, by the way, in case you haven't remembered. Lost to Juventus, drew with Bilbao, decent. Drew with Partizan, they'd be disappointed at home with that. Drew with Man City, though, a good result. Away at Galatasaray, losing, again, not a surprise. Away at Besiktas, though, a good result. 2-2 at home to Atletico Madrid, and then losing to Leipzig after, indeed, he got sent off again. How many red cards did he get in total? You can't see it because I'm in the way. 1 second. He got only 2 red cards, but in pretty important games for them, you would think. So that would be annoying, wouldn't it? But that is how Football Manager thinks the SPFL 2024-25 season will pan out. Let me know your predictions in the comments down below. I'm going to stick my flag to the mast with Clyde winning League 2, Queen of the South, or Arbroath winning League 1. We'll go with Arbroath because they're further north. Wraith Rovers in the Championship. Between them and Airdrie, I reckon. Park Thistle too, I suppose. But Wraith Rovers were so good last season, if they can carry that on without Dundee United being there, then I think they will win the league. And it'd be nice for a Fife club to be in the Premiership for once. Essentially, it's been a while since Dunfermline were up there, so Wraith Rovers getting promoted would be pretty funny. The Celtic will win the Premiership, I think, by probably a long distance once again. The Scottish Cup, Aberdeen will take both cups. That's what I'm saying. Jimmy Taylor, the revolution is here. But let me know your comments, your predictions in the comments down below. I apologise to Hamilton and Alloa fans, but thanks very much for tuning in. Leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are new here, and I'll see you again very, very soon.